Good evening and welcome to another edition of HGP Sport. For today, I'm Jaden Samuels. Thanks for joining us. Cricket news. Joe Root led an improved England response with a rock-solid 111 to keep the West Indies at bay despite some steamy fast bowling with the new ball just before stumps on the third day. This is the first century for an England batsman in this series so far. England, batting a second time, has reached 325, a lead of 448 runs going into day 4. The visitors have managed to honour their best performance for the series so far, but the Windies would feel shortchanged after Joe Denley was put down on 8. He went on to make 69 runs. Losing only 3 wickets today, the English will be looking towards the 500 mark before putting the Windies back in. Scores again, West Indies 154 and England 277 and 325. Bowling for the Windies, it was 1 apiece for Shannon Gabriel, Kimo Paul, Kima Roach and Alzari Joseph. More cricket news. After losing 2 consecutive games, the Guyana Jaguars claw their way back to outshine the Jamaica Tallawahs on Sunday at Providence. Stanford Howard reports.
Table toppers Jaguars might just hold on to their lead after trouncing the Scorpions on the final day of the 7th round by 7 wickets. Scorpions batted throughout the first day and a few overs into the second day, securing a mammoth first innings score of 358 runs. After being sent in to bat, the Jaguars in their first innings attempt to overhaul the Scorpions' score and post a lead fell short when they got 321 runs, with notable contributions from the skipper Leon Johnson 58, Vishal Singh 61 and Anthony Bramble 45 not out. Windies pacer Jerome Taylor and Dennis Bully were the most successful bowlers in the Scorpions' attack, as they both took 3 scalps apiece. Scorpions in their second innings crumbled like rookies when Jaguars had them in all sorts of trouble on the third day, as Chadwick Walton 23, Jerome Blackwood 23 and Asad Fuddin 25 were the only batsmen that got double figures, as Raymond Reefer and Godish Moti bagged 3 scalps apiece to send Scorpions all back into the dressing room for 132 in 48.1 overs, with a lead of 169 runs. Jaguars with 170 runs to capture their 5th win of the tournament did so with ease. Despite morning showers on the final day, they accomplished the target but with the loss of 3 wickets, as the skipper Johnson led from the front with an unbeaten 61 to carry the Jaguars home. The Jaguars will now head to Sabina Park, Jamaica to face the Scorpions on home soil for the 8th round on the 21st of February. Other clashes in the tournament saw Barbados Pride clinching a win from Trinidad Red Force by 4 wickets, and Leeward Hurricanes win by 12 runs over Windward Islands Volcanoes. For the HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
Cycling news. Paul de Nobrega and Eastman recorded wins at the weekend's doubleheader cycle meet held at the National Park and the West Side. Here is that story. Despite the inclement weather and intense competition, as was expected, Paul de Nobrega held his nerve to clinch his first win for the year, a race that was well negotiated. Nobrega finished in a time of 1 hour 37 minutes, 6 minutes faster than last year's champion, Hamza Eastman. Finishing second was Gerard Williams, while Britton John finished third.
With the weather and stuff in the road, it was very slippery and dangerous. You gotta ride aggressive in terms of be cautious, watching the road, the traffic. They had some animals, wild animals on the road, and the cars and stuff. So as long as you ride smart and you conserve, you're gonna reel them in back, and maybe 2-3 miles to go, which happened.
The cyclists will now turn their attention to the Asian County for this weekend's LFS Burnham Memorial Meet, set to pedal off on Sunday. Let's turn our attention to squash. The 2019 calendar of activities for squash gets going this week with the annual Bounty Farm Handicap Tournament, which will be contested at the Georgetown Club. With 44 participants carded to participate, the tournament will be run in 2 categories, Open and Category A, with each player being awarded a number of plus or minus points, the usual in handicap tournaments. The open category will no doubt bring some stunning performances from greats Alex Arjun, Regan Pollard, and DJ Diaz for the men, and Ashley Khalil and Taylor Fernandez representing the women. In Category A, returning champion Michael Alfonso will be battling against an array of improved players, including Nicholas Verwey, to retain his title. Games will run each weekday evening from 6 p.m. and throughout the day from Saturday afternoon and finishing on Sunday, February 17. Let's turn our attention to some football news. Santos and Police football clubs have booked their spots in the GFF Elite League Season 4 competition. Stanford Howard was at the Providence Training Center and filed this report.
The weekend started with 8 teams vying for the 2 remaining spots in the GFF Elite League competition on Saturday. In the opening game, Santos FC defeated FC Eagles 4-0. And the biggest upset of the day came when fans witnessed the East Coast Boys Buxton Stars FC trouncing GFC 1-0. Police FC handcuffed Riverview FC with a 4-1 beating, and Suicide Falcons FC won in penalty shootout against NA United FC. The 4 winning teams competed on Sunday, with the 2 winning joining the league. In the first match between Santos FC and Buxton Stars, Danton Ford of Santos in the 19th minute found way and broke the Buxton Stars defense to net the first goal of the day to give his side the lead to close the first half. In the second half, the game looked as if it was tilting towards Santos FC as they had more possession and control over the ball. And with the time ticking down to full time, it was the East Coast Boys who had the last say and pushed the game into penalty shootout in the 87th minute, when Kofi Major evaded the keeper to level the scores. When it came to the shootout, let's just say, Santos had the better goalkeeper. Speaking to HGP Sport, captain of Santos, Oren Yard, spoke about his team's performance over the 2 days.
The team was playing great and everything was going good for my team. Plus everybody playing position, showing for the ball, everything. So it was a good game yesterday, plus we enjoyed the game.
Also taking the second spot for the Elite League were Police FC after crushing Suicide Falcons FC 3-1. For the HGP Sport, I am Stanford Howard.
That concludes our cast for this evening. On behalf of the news and technical teams, I'm Jaden Samuels reminding you to say yes to life, yes to sport, and no to drugs. Good night.